Greetings, hello, my name is Starra Vanderlilly, and I thought it was important that anyone with a rotator cuff tear to have information immediately available to them. I, of course, like everybody else, searched on Google, and you can find stuff a little here, a little there, and then there's conflicting information. And the most conflicting I found in the beginning was, they never said, should you do this at what point? At what point do you do these stretch exercises? And the bottom line is, from an orthopedic site, that also is just, it's like, really, come on, just trying to follow, exactly what they're doing. And also very incomplete, because I met people who have showed me things they found, worked with, and physical therapy that was not on that orthopedic site. But nonetheless, I tried different things, but the most important thing was, do not start the stretch exercises if it still hurts. You must heal first, and then there's that fine line. You don't want to, baby your arm. You don't want to go around with it in a sling or anything like that. I found in the very beginning, of course, ice, baby, lots of ice all the time. I have the best ice packs that are safe for your skin, but because it hurt so much, so often, icing it still, the skin was coming off and all that, just, patchy, scratchy kind of stuff. But that is a great pain reliever for this particular injury. I also have impingement of the nerves from here, and I thought, how am I ever going to heal that? And what it comes down to is the muscles have atrophied, which happens when we start aging. And it can happen just from doing something, strenuous, some overextension, something like that. Which, I know I've been guilty of doing that too. But at any rate, all of a sudden, there it is. And you wake up in so much pain that, you're screaming, crying. Anyone out there with a serious rotator cuff tear with some impingement, especially the nerves, it's horrible. So the first thing, besides of course icing, is to, just not baby it too much, but also you don't want any kind of jerking movement, because that will spiral you into tears. You know that. I'm not telling you anything you don't know. Because of the inflammation that sets up after the injury, trying to protect you, the inflammation. And I also had a separation of the bicep from the tendon. So, the first thing still for a long time is ice. Did I get a cortisone shot? Yes, I did. Unfortunately, the very next day, I was in more pain than ever. It felt like there was this big, long needle in my arm that was shooting, something in there. How that hurts when they actually push the drug, whatever they're doing. And it wouldn't go away. Ice nor nothing would make it go away. Thank God I have tramadol, and that's a safe pain relief. At any rate, that did, loosen up the shoulder. I could actually start moving it without, ugh! So the very next thing, well, again, I thought that I was done with the ice and I was going into the heat mode, because I was definitely getting better. Until I got the cortisone shot. From where I was screaming and crying in the morning. This has been a long road. It's been 7 months. And you think, 7 months? But, if it were your leg and you were in a car crash, you had an injury and you couldn't walk, people would, you know, realize, oh, yeah, it's gonna take a long time. But when it's your arm, you know, it's like, it's not obvious how much it's hurt and how much it hurts and the injury and what have you. And it does take a while. So at the 4-month range is where I felt, I want to back up a little bit, because if you do have a cortisone flare-up, you don't want to do heat. And that was the point that I felt like I should start heat. No, because it can get infected. It's, you know, your body is rebelling against it, so to speak. So you have to go back to the ice. I went back to the ice, until that calmed down. And then I knew I was ready for some exercises. And in this first part of this series, I'm going to go ahead and show you the first one. And some of these I'm sure you've seen or you've heard, but there's stuff that I found out about by meeting people that actually went to physical therapy for this, okay? The first one is the circles. You know, you need to not lock your knees and you just lean so your arm is, you know, just dangling. And so then you just go in circles. And when I first started this, it was just little circles, like 8, and then the other way, little circles. And as you do this, you know, several times a day would be a good idea, at least once a day. You make the circles bigger. If you start feeling the pain, of course, calm it down. You know, the point is not to push the envelope, because I did that too and went back into, you know, steps backwards in the pain world. So this is the first one, the circles, and then also forward. I used to not be able to do this. The forward and the sideways, that was just like, no, that's too much pressure on my shoulder. So that's the first one. And, you know, we're all different. We have the injuries are all not, you know, everything's not all the same.